Hello, David. Started a couple minutes early today. Almost didn't. Almost started not late, but my thumbnail was too big, so I had to adjust it like 3 different times, so that was fun. But Daniel Berry Sports Highlights, welcome. Anywho, okay. All right. I think I got everything up I needed to get up. Make sure that's somewhat adjusted. But yes, this is going to be a little bit different just because we didn't have Cup this weekend. Usually we base these off Cup and we talk about Cup more than anything, but there was no Cup. So we got some other things to talk about though. I know we talked about it a little bit this weekend. Rockingham came back. So as always, we've got our tabs up here. We got the Exfinity Truck Series. We haven't looked at the Exfinity and Truck Points in a while, so we're going to look at that. F1, I'm going to go into a little bit more detail there since I did like a 3-minute video yesterday because I didn't really have time to do a full-blown video. So we'll do a little bit more in detail there. And then I'll explain this in a bit. This is going to be, I'm so looking forward to this. I'm way too excited. And then we will get to our Monday picks. We'll go through the entry lists. And this week is the week that if you make an absurd or a supposedly absurd pick, you will not be laughed at because there's a good chance it could happen because it's Talladega. But welcome, Denver. Good day, mate. Denver, I got a really random question. Anyone else from Australia? I got to ask it. There's a TV show here in the U.S., before we get into the racing stuff, called NCIS Sydney. It's based in Sydney, Australia. One, do they show it in Australia? Because I feel like they would, because there's also Australian actors in the show. Two, what do the Australians think of it? Very curious. I was watching an episode the other night. Thought came to mind. Just had to know. So, as I said, extremely random. But anywho, the Xfinity series. So, we talked about it a little bit in a video a couple days ago. But this is not what you saw Sunday at the checkered flag. All right, so, okay, they do show NCIS Sydney. All right, very good. Cool. Good to know. Season finale is being released over here on Friday, so I'm looking forward to that. Anywho, I just was curious. But right here, big difference from when we were last live on Saturday evening. This is not what we saw. We have to scroll all the way down here to Jesse Love in 37th place. They gave him the benefit of the doubt, I guess, compared to Justin Bonsignor. Once again, I don't know if this is based on the at-track, on-track finishing results. I don't know if it's based off the point standings because Bonsignor is a part-time driver. Jesse Love's a full-time driver. He was like third in the points. The 19, I don't know where they are in the owner's points. So I don't know how they factor that in. But we saw Jesse Love cross the line first. As you can see here, he is listed as 37th place. He also had the fastest lap of the race. Well, you can see that now belongs to Ryan Sieg. So, if you missed it, somehow it's been 2 days, 48 hours about since it was announced. Jesse Love was disqualified due to an illegal rear, something in the rear of the car. Something with the rear suspension was not legal, so he got tossed, essentially. As a result, Sammy Smith picks up the win. He finishes second on the track, but he gets the trophy. Well, he might get the trophy. Jesse Love did say that he had a lock on his safe, so maybe he doesn't get the trophy, but he gets the prize money. He gets the playoff points that come with the victory, and he gets another career win to his tally, which puts him at 3 now, I think. 4, maybe. I think he gets 1 a year, and this is his 3rd year, so 3. Anywho, we'll see if he breaks that trend. Really early win in the year, so I would assume he breaks that trend. But Sammy Smith, after all the controversy at Martinsville a couple of weeks ago, has now won a race, and he's in the playoffs. No more questions about that, if there were any. But as I said, when you're getting one win a year, then the question's going to come up. But Sammy Smith's now in the playoffs. He gets his first win of the year. JRM, they have won with Zillett, Shkoda, Allgaier. Where did Allgaier win? Oh, boy. I got to look this up now. I feel foolish. Results. Here we go. Okay. I'm on my second screen. That's why you can't see it. No, I want the season results. Hello? Let's see. No, I should have. I don't know why I clicked on that. I don't know why I clicked on that. I don't know. I know that. Justin Allgaier won at Homestead. Okay. Justin Allgaier won at Vegas. So Allgaier has 2 wins, at least. We already covered that one. We already knew that. Okay, so yeah. JRM now has 4 wins on the season with 3 different drivers. Allgaier has 2. Sammy Smith has 1. And then, oh my goodness, I just looked at this. Zillett, yeah, duh, Coda. I was there. I should know this. But yeah, so we've got JRM winning races with different drivers. Sammy Smith, while once again not exactly the way you want to win, he still won. So he's got a win in the bag. Going through the rest of these results here is just quite interesting. Just do I even have to say it out loud? Just look at this top 10. Just read through it yourself. Starting at 2, 3, 4, once again. Okay, that's normal, right? That's normal, but 7, 8, 9, 10, like, just look at this top 10. Who would have thought? You know? Just who in the world would have thought that this would have been the top 10 in NASCAR, the Xfinity Series return to Rockingham? That this right here would be the top 10. And on top of that, Dean Thompson stage winner, ladies and gentlemen. And stage 1 was won by Nick Sanchez, I believe, led 52 laps in this one. So just in terms of the actual results, in terms of the actual numbers that when we look at this, extremely random. Just the top 10, extremely random. Lap leaders, very random. Stage winners, very random. Just so much randomness about this race. Just something looks off over here. Oh no, that looks fine actually. I don't know what was happening, but anywho, back to this. Just very random. A lot happened. I thought the racing was decent. Once again, maybe a few too many cautions for my liking and for some other people's likings, but not a terrible race. I thought the Truck Series race was pretty solid, though. We had a pretty solid race in terms of the racing. We saw both lanes kind of working. We had a fuel mileage finish, which was exciting. But it was like a surprise fuel mileage finish. Like, there were a couple guys that were questionable, like Corey Heim and Gio Ruggiero. We knew that they were going to have to pit. That was no real surprise to anyone. And they were saying, oh, everyone else should be good. You know, Tyler Ankrum, he's the next guy who pitted the earliest, and he should be fine. But everyone else, they pitted 8, 9 laps later. Like, they're way good to go. Like, if we go to overtime, maybe it gets a little sketchy there. But in terms of making it to the natural finish, they'll be fine. But then all of a sudden, who was it? Coming down this order here. Lane Riggs. It was Lane Riggs, runs out of gas from like 3rd place, and he had pitted 8 laps later than Ankrum. It was like, whoa, what in the world? Like, that was not expected. That was not anticipated by anyone. Everyone thought that he could make it, or that group of cars could make it. Then I think Perez was next, and then Chandler Smith. That was another big one. And it was like, whoa, what is happening? Sammy Smith runs out of fuel. All these guys who we thought were really a good chunk to the good on fuel start running out. So those last 4 to 5 laps, we're staring at Tyler Ankrum, who pitted 7 laps, 8 laps earlier, 9 laps, whatever it was. Then all these guys who are running out looking at him like, there's no way he's going to make it. He pitted so much earlier, there's no way he can extend this out. And what did he do? He extended it out. He made it on fuel, and he wins the race. His first win in 6 years. What was it, 130, 140 races without a win in the Truck Series. Leads 29 laps, a great day, career day for him. But, I mean, a lot of career days in this field if we go through it. Jake Garcia, his first ever pole, had only led 45 or something laps in his career prior to this race. Leads 43 in stage 1 alone. Did he win the stage or did he finish second in the stage? I can't remember. Scored a lot of stage points. He ends up scoring the most points out of anyone on the day. So huge career day for him. Coming down this list, big day. Look at that. Jack Wood in 7th. Connor Mozak wrecked on like lap 3 and comes back to finish 9th. I think it was Perez. He was having a career day before he ran out of field. Still a 12th place finish. Not bad, but he was up there right in this 5th to 8th range at the end of this race. There was someone else, maybe. Maybe I'm thinking of Exfinity, but just a very surprising finish in terms of the Truck Series race, but an exciting finish. And as I said, a solid race. I really enjoyed the race, the truck race. Once again, the Xfinity race, we come back over here, just kind of a little caution fest at times, but it's still solid. It was all right. Talladega, I'm sure there will be some sort of controversy. They'll find a way. Yeah, okay, so Denver, that's the thing that confused me because I could have sworn that NASCAR got rid of that penalty a couple years ago, but apparently not. Like, I remember it used to be a big thing that if you change your tires, like, even if it wasn't a flat, like if it was a scuffed tires and you just wanted a fresh set, it used to be a penalty. But then this happened, I was like, oh, I could have sworn they changed that. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, obviously I'm wrong because they didn't change it in the Xfinity series. So maybe they changed it just in the Cup. I don't know. It's a weird penalty. I'm not a fan of it. Like, I'm not saying a guy should go out there and murder his tires to win the pole and then get to switch them. But let's be realistic. No one's like flat spotting the tires on purpose or like drifting through corners to make it like an extra half second. We're not doing anything extreme here. If they want to start on the one lap, 2 lap scuffs, like, okay, let them do it. If they want to start on fresh ones, let them start on fresh tires. Like, it's a little bit of a weird rule, but anywho. Kasey Kahne. So Rockingham's back. Everyone's talking about that. Kasey Kahne, who has not raced in a NASCAR race in, was it 18? I think it was 2018. Maybe it was 19. I think it was 18 because I think it was Levine Family Racing's last year was Chevy. Kasey Kahne in his last year with NASCAR was 2018 when he raced for Levine Family Racing in the Cup Series. His last Cup win was in 2017 at the Brickyard 400. He's raced some Xfinity. But out of nowhere, a couple months, it gets announced. Like, Kasey Kahne's coming back for the Xfinity race at Rockingham. He's going to race with Richard Childress Racing. It was a very random deal. Then it's announced that Hendrick Cars is going to be sponsoring. So, Rick Hendrick backing his former driver. They have a good relationship, it appears. So, it was very random, but it was very fun. Kasey Kahne had competitive speed. He started 4th. He was running up in the top 7 for that first chunk of the race before he ultimately got crashed. So it sucks for him for sure because he looked like he was going to have a competitive result. And 14th is not bad at all, especially with the damage he had on the car, but he needed some help. I mean, we had Sawalich get wrecked a couple times. We had 26th on back. That's 12 cars, at least 12, 13 cars that got wrecked in this race that did not finish. And, well, then we had the disqualification of Jesse Love. And I guess technically Bonsignor, but he also crashed. So that's different. But anywho, the point being that Kasey Kahne was actually looking fairly competitive before his crash. So it was unfortunate because if he doesn't get in that crash, if the car's not damaged, you'd like to think he'd be up here in this wacky top 10 at worst, but obviously we did not get to see that chance. So hopefully he had a good time. Hopefully he had fun. I'd love to see him come back again, wherever it may be. If he wants to come back for Bristol, well, maybe not Martinsville. Maybe that's a little too chaotic after what happened a couple weeks ago. If he wants to come back for Charlotte, Nashville, what's another track? Richmond, whatever it may be. So, yeah. That'd be fun. That'd be cool. But it was really cool to see Kasey Kahne back, if you ask me. Yep, that's all I got for now. I'm sure someone will do something. But Borderline Briar, welcome back under the new account. Not quite to the Talladega picks yet, but noted. Yeah, Denver, I think they are working on some sort of renovation package at Rockingham. I think they're building lights or something. They have Christmas lights, according to Google. But they're doing a bunch of renovations. There's been a bunch of money that's gone into that. There was some bill that was passed a couple of years ago that basically I'm going to try to put this in the simplest terms. I don't pay attention to politics and I'm way too dumb to understand how bills work. But the simple understanding that I have is that there was a bill passed in the state of North Carolina that distributed tens of millions of dollars in funds to local racetracks, whether it's short tracks or it's to revive some of these bigger name tracks like North Wilkesboro and Rockingham. And I think that's where they got some money here. They were able to revive it. Obviously, we just had a race week in there. I could be wrong on this once again. I know there was some sort of, not NASCAR bill, but auto racing bill. I'm very curious what happens when I look this up. Okay, yeah, this is not what I wanted. NASCAR. Nope, that's not racing NASCAR. Dang it. Funding bill, NASCAR. That's what I want, I think. Okay. Governor. Let's see. Visited. Yeah. We got a bunch of quotes. Give me the numbers. Give me the money amounts. I mean, it'd be nice to have this much money, I guess, but let's see here. Okay, so Governor Cooper and the North Carolina Department of Commerce announced today that 15 local governments have been awarded $45.8 million to help 17 motorsports venues recover from the pandemic. Okay, so this was a COVID thing. The money can be used for water, sewer, and other infrastructure projects pertaining to the speedways. The grants will enhance local tourism, travel, and hospitality industries that benefit from the many motorsport events held in North Carolina. And then it points out North Wilkesboro specifically. So there you go. That's what I'm referencing there. Once again, we are not quite to the Talladega picks, ladies and gentlemen. You all voted in the community tab thingy and decided to do some Rockingham. I guess we've been going on Rockingham 15 minutes. We can shift to the points. Let's go over to the Exfinity and truck points. Actually, I'm going to check over here first. Let's see. NASCAR series about Rockingham. Oh, wait, I just read that. I'm so dumb. Whatever, Trevor. Once again, I'm no expert on law. I'm no expert on bills. I'm not a politics person, but hey, I'm all for supporting NASCAR and racing. So sounds like the kind of bill that I would sign off on. So, but once again, what do I know? I'm dumb. Red, we're not quite to Talladega picks yet. We will get there, I promise. Yeah, okay, let's talk about the points because Borderline Briar has pointed out Williams Sawallish. So the Exfinity points, I have not looked at the Exfinity points since like March. Well, I guess March was a month ago. Early March. There, I'll be a little bit more specific. What is happening here? Okay, so Justin Allgaier leading the points. That's not a shock at all. Not really shocking, not shocking. Carson Kvapil having an impressive rookie season. Not that this is shocking because he's in a JRM car and he's a talented driver, but for year one, this early in the season, to still be competitive, have these sorts of numbers, and to be up front, really good for him. Brandon Jones, last couple of years at JRM, he was a disappointment. I think the majority of people would agree on that. He did not win a single race at JRM. Missed the playoffs. Like, in a JRM car, you should not be missing the playoffs. You should not be going winless over multiple seasons. He shows up this year. He's already won a race with JGR after his return to JGR. He wins at Darlington, which for some reason, he's just so good there. It's so random. There in Kansas are like the two most random places he's good at. And he's 6th in points. Really good start for him. Connor Zilic has had a solid year. Now, it's been I don't know if inconsistent is the right word, but they have the speed. They've shown up with speed. He's looked really good. He's a rookie. He's really young. I think he's still 18 years old. He's got the win at COTA, road course. We expect that from him on road courses. But the ovals, he's looked really good, but they just haven't quite put the finishes together. They've had a couple, but they haven't put them all together. You look at this past weekend at North Wilkesboro. Qualify first, but they have to start at the back. They make their way up through the field, then they have a flat tire again. At one point, he spins out, but then they rally back to finish 14th, I think. 13th, okay, sorry. 14th. He was 14th before the disqualification. Sammy Smith, Ryan Segan, the top 10 points, very impressive for him. Once again, he has shown up at some of these racetracks and contended for the win. Last year, we saw it at Talladega. We saw it at Texas. We just saw it at Rockingham this past weekend. So once again, he's knocking on the door. Sheldon Creed, a little way off his teammate currently. A little bit of a surprise. Obviously, last year, Sheldon Creed was so consistent, consistently top 5. He had so many top 5s last year. But as we know, no win for him. And then look at this. Look at the playoff bubble. Jeb Burton and Harrison Burton. Who would have thought? Jordan Anderson Racing. Jordan Anderson Racing. Then we got AM Racing. This car last year was a disaster last year. Haley Deegan was in it for the first 2/3 of the season. Nothing happened. Then I think they rotated drivers after that. I think Josh Berry drove this car at times, but just nothing significant happened with this car last year. Probably finished in the low 20s in the points. Look where they are now. They have 4 top 10s. They have a top 5. They just picked up a podium finish at Rockingham. And Harrison Burton, a year after getting booted out of his cup ride, after winning the Wood Brothers 100th race, by the way, he's sitting 12th in points. What a turnaround for that team. Daniel Dye right on the bubble. Do they have a bubble option? They do not have a bubble option. So we got to mentally do our own bubble. This is the cutoff. Dean Thompson's 15th in points. How about that? I mean, this playoff bubble is just, who would have thought? Jeb Burton, Harrison Burton, Daniel Dye, Taylor Gray. It's rookie season, I guess, but Joe Gibbs Racing Equipment. Dean Thompson is only 3 points off of you. Should have won at Martinsville, though. I think everyone knows that. Brennan Poole with 2 top 5s, and they're not even super speedway top 5s. 0 super speedway top 5s, but what a start to the year for them. I know they had some disappointment at Bristol with the Dash for Cash getting wrecked out early, but the 4th at Martinsville, I think, and then a 4th again this past weekend at Rockingham. Just what a start by them. Eric Almirola is 21st in points on a part-time schedule. Good for him, I guess. And then, look, this is just, who said it? Borderline bright. What is happening here? William Sawalich, a young driver who's been in the ARCA series for a while. Just a horrible start to the year. He's only got 2 top 10s. He's got 3 DNFs. I believe that's what that stat line is. No top 5s. He's led 4 laps. He's been involved in all these incidents. Just 25th in the Exfinity series in a JGR car. That's not pretty. I don't think I need to tell him that. I don't think anyone does, because I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I think everyone knows that. When you got your teammate who's part-time and is 43 points ahead of you, that's not good. I think that's an understatement too. So an abysmal start to the year for them. Coming down the order a little bit more, let's see at the random one. We got Corey Day down here. Carson Ware. David Starr, baby. Preston Pardis. Some random names I felt like saying. Anywho, let's go to the truck standing, shall we? Let's see what everyone's got to say, though. Give Harrison Burton some credit. Yeah, no, for sure. As we were saying, Harrison Burton's had a great start to the year. Catherine Land. Well, okay, so the problem with the whole Catherine Legg situation, they're putting her in these terrible positions. Her first Cup start in the next gen car, they put her at Phoenix, which is like one of the most difficult ovals because there's no track comparable to it. It's two completely different sets of corners, two completely different straightaways, and she's not in the best car. She's in one of the back tier cars. So kind of set up for failure there. And then once again, what's her first oval? Well, I know she's run some Xfinity before, but what's her first oval start in how many years in the Xfinity series? Rockingham, a track that no one's been to. A very difficult oval. Once again, two different sets of corners, a different front stretch from a back stretch, and she's in a back marker car. Like, if you're going to start her out on the oval, start her out on like a Talladega, Daytona, and then just kind of, like, or maybe something more comparable to a road course. Like, okay, maybe Martinsville would have been a disaster because everyone was a disaster at Martinsville, but just ease her into it. You know, give her some time. But they just start off, they're like, bam, you're in a Cup car at Phoenix that's going to qualify dead last no matter how good you are. And bam, Xfinity car that's not good. And it's going to be another tough track. So I just don't understand it really. Why they, right off the bat, they're like, go to Phoenix in a Cup car. Go to Rockingham in an Xfinity car. Like, it's difficult. I'm excited that she wants to come over here and do NASCAR, but the current setup, these first couple of races have not gone the way she's wanted it to go. But it's also just been, just not the greatest setup either. So, anywho. Hello, Waffles X Aussie. Jamie. So, okay. Let's go to the truck standings real quick. Corey Himes, is anyone surprised by that? Chandler Smith's in second. I'm not too surprised by that after how good he was in Xfinity last year. Ankrum's in third. I did not anticipate that. He has 5 top 5s. He's got the most top 5s in the truck series right now. I would not have guessed that. He is a win. I probably would not have guessed that either. Daniel Hemrick got himself a win. Good for him. Lane Riggs up there in the top 5 of points. It's not a shock. Ty Majeski, a little bit of a championship hangover, but hey, he's still 6th in points. Jake Garcia with a solid start to the season. As we already talked about, he has led more laps in that one race, or a couple laps less technically, but he almost led as many laps at Rockingham as he had led in his career. Grant Enfinger, not a surprise. Not really surprised. I mean, I would say Raja 14th is a little bit of a surprise. Last year was such a good year for him. He won at Vegas. I don't remember where he finished in the points, but I think it was top 10, but a little bit disappointing. I'd say Ben Rhodes is in that category too, just because Ben Rhodes is a 2-time champion. He's won a bunch of races, but 12th in the standings after a quarter of the season, not pretty. I guess if we're a quarter to the season. Coming down, Matt Crafton. Matt Crafton's had a rough couple years here. Ever since that 2019 championship without winning a race, he's had a rough go. Coming down the order a little bit more. Rough start. Tony Breidinger. Just nothing on the stat sheet here in the Tricon truck. Then we're getting to the part-timers here. Norm Benning, baby. How about that? 4 starts for Norm, 29 points. Good for him. But yeah, cool. All right, so I'm going to move on to Formula One for a minute. Because yesterday, as I said, if you watched the video yesterday, I had limited time. I had some family things going on. I only had a 15, 20-minute window, so I really had to speed up the process. Oscar Piastri won. Yeah, everyone talked about preseason. Norris, Leclerc, Verstappen. If Mercedes is competitive, let's throw Russell in there. Well, how about this? Oscar Piastri picks up his 3rd win of the season. We're on race 5. He is suddenly the championship favorite. Not a surprise that McLaren's the favorite because their car was on rails last year and they're once again the top car this year. But Oscar Piastri surprised some people. Norris at times has just, qualifying, just wrecks it. At least it was Q3, so he started 10th and was able to rally for 4th, but he qualified 6th at China. Was it China or Bahrain or Japan? One of those races, he qualified 6th. So Norris has been a little bit inconsistent despite him being the preseason title favorite. And his teammates kind of just consistently just beating him, qualifying and race. And that's why when we come over here, Oscar Piastri with a 10-point lead. How about that, huh? Oscar Piastri leading the World Championship. Did Mark Webber led the championship at some point, right? I'm going to assume that Piastri's the first Australian since Mark Webber to lead the points because I don't think Ricciardo ever did. No. So Piastri, good for him. Verstappen, though, look at this. Verstappen, Red Bull has just looked so out of touch with the other teams up here. Ferrari, Mercedes, McLaren, and Verstappen just still within striking distance. 12 points off. All it takes is a Senna Prost incident between these two, and Verstappen retakes the championship lead. So he's lurking. If Red Bull gets it together and they give him a little bit more competitive of a car, McLaren could indeed be in trouble. Now, they're going to win the Constructors. As of right now, I don't think there's any question. McLaren in the Constructors' Championship. They're feeling pretty good about that. They're feeling nice and tight about that. Drivers' Championship, though, they cannot mess around. If these two get fighting each other, have a couple incidents, take points off each other, Verstappen's going to pull a 2007 Kimi Räikkönen and just consistent his way to the championship. And once again, that's all based on if Red Bull gives him a competitive car. But Russell, once again, just quiet day. Finishes from 2nd to 4th. Quiet. This is driver standings. He finished 5th, I think, on the race. Yeah. No, I don't want. Oh, I'm so stupid. I just clicked the same thing I was on. Oh, my goodness. 5th. Top 5. Good for him. Hamilton, not an ideal start. Some growing pains to start out this season. Williams has looked decent. As a lot of people were really high on Williams heading into the season. They've looked decent. If we go to the constructors' standings over here, 5th. Solidly 5th. Good for them. Haas is up there in 6th. Aston Martin, oof. Oh boy, Aston Martin. The irony, though, is Lance Stroll is carrying, just like we all expected. Then we got Red Bull Jr. I refuse to say all this, so I'm just going to say Red Bull Jr. Alpine and Sauber are tied for last, but they both have 6 points. Good for them. Didn't Sauber only score 2 points last year? So good for them. Congrats to Alpine congrats to Sauber for scoring 6 whole points. No, Penske is not in F1. They're in IndyCar. They're not in F1. Okay, Mark Webber did. Okay. Did you see the death stare from Max Verstappen to Oscar Piastri? I did not see that, Denver. But I know everyone was asking, is it going to be Verstappen Leclerc? Is it going to be Verstappen Hamilton maybe? Verstappen Norris? Is it going to be Norris Leclerc? What's going to happen? And now it's Piastri. Piastri Verstappen maybe? That would be exciting. But also, can they please, I said this yesterday in my 3-minute video, please, for the love of God, F1 drivers, can you just race each other without cutting a corner, without bailing. Learn how to race each other, please. And by that, I mean don't wreck each other and don't bail and then get on the radio and start crying that someone forced you off. It's so annoying. It's been like that forever, but can we just actually race, please? Guys, please. Please. 1980. That was what? Hold on. 45 years. Yeah, it could end a 45-year drought. Yeah, the NASCAR Hall of Fame came out today with their nominees. Kurt Busch was one of them. He's one of the new nominees, him and Randy LaJoie on the modern era ballot. So we'll see what they end up doing. I mean, statistically, Kurt Busch has been great. He's got 30-something wins. He's got a championship. He's got a Daytona 500. I think he's won the Coke 600. Did he ever win the Southern 500? Did he ever win the... I don't think he ever won the Brickyard. The Southern 500 is the only question mark for me. Obviously, he won at Bristol a bunch, so he won the Bristol night race. Has he won the All-Star race before? I think he has. So he's won a lot in his career, but we'll see what they end up doing. It's a good question because, of course, there was also a lot of controversy in Kurt Busch's career. Early in his career, he was hot-headed, got into it with, Jimmy Spencer. That was a big one, but then also got into it with the media. He was on probation and whatever, so... But later in his career, when he became kind of a fan favorite, he mellowed out. He was loved by everyone by the end of his career. So we'll see. And then obviously another factor to factor in is how his career ended. It ended prematurely. Kurt Busch was still extremely competitive in 2022. He won at Kansas in April or May, whenever that race was. But in July, August at Pocono, he hits the wall and he's got a concussion, career over, head injury. So I'm curious to see how the voters factor all of those different aspects in. Statistical category, statistics, yeah, he should be in the Hall of Fame. Should it be this year? That's what they're there to vote for. Then we go to his off track. The controversies, the tensions with him and other people. Then we go to that third part. His career got ended prematurely. If that doesn't happen, that injury doesn't happen, does he go and achieve more? Maybe. So, there's no, I would say this year there's no hard set for sure this guy's in the Hall of Fame. Like a Jimmy Johnson, a Jeff Gordon, a Tony Stewart, a Dale Jr. There's really no one like that this year, I would say. I could be wrong. Some of you might disagree. I see Jamie in the comments says Neil Bonnet and Harry Gant should be in. But yeah, I'm curious. The Hall of Fame is always an intriguing topic of discussion because everyone's so passionate. It always depends on the era you grow up in or the era that you watched and enjoyed the most. I didn't watch most of these guys race, so I don't have as much of an attachment. I respect what they did in NASCAR for sure and the history of the sport, but the fact of the matter is I know Kurt Busch better. I know Greg Biffle better. I know Jeff Burton because I watched him race forever. So, once again, not to say that they are for sure better. They for sure deserve to get in the Hall of Fame first, but I'm just saying from my perspective, I know them better. So if you put those names on a sheet of paper, I might lean towards them a little bit more because I actually watched them more. So, it's just another factor, I guess, of Hall of Fame and all that. But yeah. David, I don't know if it's a championship hangover for Verstappen. Because, he still won a race. He's still gotten way more out of that Red Bull than it should get. Because Lawson and Yuki haven't done much. It was so bad, they felt the need to get rid of Lawson after 2 races, which I still don't understand. But, anywho. All right, we got to move on to our next topic. I'm excited for this one, guys. No, Red, we're not quite to Monday picks. After this, though, we'll be at Monday picks after this, but I am so excited to talk about this, way too excited. 2 years ago, at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, every race, they have a national anthem performance, and I love a good national anthem performance. And I'm going to cover my screen here just so I don't get copyrighted or anything. But we got to listen to this beauty 2 years ago. Everyone, turn your ears up. I don't know if I'm going to get copyrighted for this, but you know what? If I do, this is not the greatest thing you've ever heard. Yeah. Is that not just the most beautiful thing that you have ever heard? So the reason I'm playing this for you. Oh, nope, I hit the wrong button. First of all, just so beautiful. And in 2024, they did not have a live performer for the national anthem. It was that bad that the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, they had been spooked out of playing a national anthem live because of how unique this performance was. Well, then yesterday happened, and one of my preseason predictions in F1 was they were going to bring a live band back, and they did. So you heard this version, so get ready to hear the second version of the Saudi Arabian national anthem. It's a little bit better. I would argue the other one's better because, got some laughs out of me, but I think in terms of quality, people would argue this one's a little bit better. But, yeah. Anywho, they brought back live performers for the Saudi Arabian national anthem at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. I'm telling you guys, I love a good national anthem performance. I did 2 years ago. I did a national anthem ranking from the performances in F1 in 2023. So, Tori, I get what you're saying there, but the first versus the second, there is a distinct difference. I can put the links in the chat and I'll let you break them down by yourself or whatever, but just I just had to talk about it. It was one of my preseason predictions, so I got a preseason prediction right in F1. They brought a live band back to Saudi for the national anthem. I still send that 2023 performance to people. Whenever I think about it, I'll send it to people I know that think it's really funny. And yeah, just really wanted to talk about that today. But now, it's time. Talladega Superspeedway is this weekend. Talladega Superspeedway is known for having some wacky winners. And we here at this channel like to have Monday picks. And our Monday picks, every once in a while, they go off the rails. We get people picking Cody Ware at Phoenix. We get people picking, Riley Herbst to win at Texas or something. We get some wild picks on Mondays. And usually I laugh at them and I say they're terrible. Let me give you a specific instance. Las Vegas Motor Speedway, the Monday before Las Vegas. So that would have been the Monday after Atlanta, I believe. I come out here and I say, let's make our Monday picks. And I'm expecting everyone to say Larson, Reddick, Denny Hamlin. I almost said Martin Truex Jr. That would have been wrong. But, some of the big names, the powerhouses to win. Then I go to the comments and it's like Cole Custer, Austin Dillon, Ty Dillon, Zane Smith, just the most random names. And I'm like, you guys are idiots. And then we keep going. It's like Daniel Suarez, Josh Berry, Ryan Preece. I'm like, you guys are morons if you think any of those three are going to finish in the top three. Well, the way it happened was Josh Berry first, Daniel Suarez second, Ryan Preece third. I come back the next Monday in shambles because I said that you were all dumb when it was in fact me who was dumb. I say that today because this week is Talladega. no one is dumb for your picks this week. Go crazy. Pick whoever you want. You think Chris Wright's going to win this Xfinity race? Go for it. It's possible. It's very possible. So, yeah, let's do it. Monday picks. All right? We got an Xfinity race and a Cup Series race this weekend. Welcome to everyone. What's up? Monday Picker 1000. Great name. Tori. Hello. Jamie. Borderline Briar. Great name with the Nikolai P. Culp Fan 2000. Glad I'm your favorite YouTuber. I didn't think I'd ever see those words, but I appreciate the kind words. Jamie, Denver, Ryan Anderson. Let's hear them. Xfinity Series picks. Let's get on it. I'm going to slowly go through this entry list as I read some of your picks. We got some Jeb Burtons right off the bat. Ooh. Denver's going with Dean Thompson for Xfinity. Jeb Burton is Borderline Briar and Ryan Anderson 700s picks. All right, okay. And hey, those guys are both top 15 in points. So usually, some would say that's a massive upset. And even the odds might say those are upsets. But with how they've started this year, maybe not too big of an upset. Harrison Burton, same story with Harrison Burton, Zane Tyler. It's not the most chaotic pick when you look at the point standings. They've had a really decent start. And then, of course, he wanted a super speedway and cup. Jake Garcia is racing this week. Catherine Legg's in the field this week. Did I miss any significant names up here? I'm reading the comments. Kyle Sieg, okay, from Nikolai P. Culp Fan 2000. Jamie is going with Connor Zilic. All caps from Red. Chris Wright. As I said, it's Talladega. It could happen. You never know. Chris Wright got a top 10 at Martinsville. But keep on going through this list. Sam Mayer is 2 more days pick. So, yeah, really no. Jesse Iwuji's back. Hey, I'm close to there. But, anywho. Now that you have got your entry list, you've looked at it. Let's see. So, all right, just to recap some of your picks. We've got a Dean Thompson pick. We've got 2 Jeb Burton picks. We've got a Harrison Burton, Connor Zilic, Kyle Sieg, Chris Wright, Sam Mayer, Nick Sanchez, Taylor Gray is Waffles X Aussie's pick. Monday Picker 1000 is Nick Sanchez. So we got 9 different drivers. Jake Garcia is Ryan Anderson's second pick, I guess. Just pick Jeb Burton up there. So I'm going to go with your first one. Ryan Anderson 700. You pick Jeb Burton. Is Jeffrey Earnhardt in the field? Jeffrey Earnhardt is in the field. Jeffrey Earnhardt is Tori's pick. We got a wide variety of names, and no one has mentioned Austin Hill, the super speedway. What's the word? Expert. The expert. But for some reason, I will say, Austin Hill's great at these super speedways. He wins at Daytona all the time, Atlanta. For some reason, he can't get it done at Talladega. It's the most odd thing. I don't know why. It's just so odd. No, I mean, theoretically, if you want to, you can pick both. But I'm only going to count your first one unless you say, no, I'm discarding Jeb Burton and I'm going to go with Jake Garcia now. But, hey, there we go. Borderline Briar with some logic. It's an odd numbered year. He won in 2021 and 2023, so I'm picking Jeb for 2025. That is real life logic right there. That is smart by Borderline Briar. But wow, 3 different Jeb Burton picks. We've got a lot. We got 9 different drivers being picked up here. How many that's another good question. How many DNFs? So, first of all, how big is the field? 41. The field's cut off at 38, so there's going to be 38 cars. I think we see 11 DNFs. I'm going to go with 11. 11 DNFs, so 27 cars finish this race. Austin Hill is very quiet in races, then suddenly he's very noisy. As for my only 10 cars will finish, oh my goodness. 8 DNFs. Okay, that's a little bit more realistic from Jamie. My Monday pick for Talladega, I'm going to go with a little bit of an upset like some of you are predicting. I'm going to go with Josh Williams. No logic. It's Talladega. I don't need logic here. I can just throw Blindly throw a dart. Hope it sticks. So there we go. Josh Williams. Now it's time for the Cup Series. Oh, boy. All right, come on. Hit me with it. Talladega, Monday picks. Who's going to win the Cup Series race? I will slowly go through the entry list. I'm looking at the sponsors. I haven't actually looked at the sponsors. Chase Elliott, driving the Amazon Prime Video car. I forgot about that. New sponsor for Kyle Busch. It's basically Zone, but it's a different type of nicotine. More nicotine. Oh, my goodness. Welcome back, 1990s. Christopher Belton Sports Clips car. Title Max for Zane Smith. Haas and Andes for Cole Custer. Jack Links. Yes, they're sponsoring the race. Sasquatch will be there. That's cool. Arby's for Cody Ware once again. Gunk for Michael McDowell. I'm scared to ask what that is. Safety Culture for SVG. That's what he ran at Bristol. Wendy's Frosty for Daniel Suarez. Very interesting. All right, let's see it. Let's see these Monday picks. Kyle Busch is Jamie's pick. BJ McLeod, Get Loud for McLeod. That's Tori's pick. SVG is Denver's pick. Hey, it's Talladega. Anyone can win. And SVG led some laps at Atlanta, the last super speedway. Prime 9 is Duke Chronic's pick, Chase Elliott. David's picking Harrison Burton. I'm assuming that's for Xfinity. Austin Dillon is Borderline Breyer's pick. Michael McDowell is Ryan Anderson 700's pick. Nikolai P. Colt Fan 2000's pick is Todd Gilliland. Cody Ware's Red's pick. There we go, baby. Come on. Once again, there's no crazy picks this week, but that's a bold pick there. So we got Cody Ware, Todd Gilliland, Michael McDowell, Austin Dillon, Chase Elliott, Shane Van Gisbergen, BJ McLeod, Kyle Busch, Zane Tyler is picking Carson Hocevar. That's 9. We got 9 so far. We're almost to a quarter of the field. Well, yeah, we got a quarter of the field. Brad Keselowski is 2 more days picks. We're to a quarter of the field. 10 people have been picked. 10. Tyler Reddick's the defending winner, by the way. Kind of forgot about that. As I say that, Monday Picker 1000 picks Tyler Reddick. So there's 11. We got 11. I'm very curious. I'm going to give this till 55. At 55, I will make my pick. Noah Gragson, that's 12. All right, we're up to 12 drivers. I'm curious to see if the entire field will get picked here. Austin Cindric, that's 13. Oh, Ryan Anderson, 700. You fooled me again. You picked McDowell earlier. Now I got to recount. Dang it. Kyle Busch, BJ McLeod, Shane Van Gisbergen, Chase Elliott, Austin Dillon, McDowell, Todd, Cody Ware, Carson Hocevar, Keselowski, Reddick, Gregson. So we're at 12. Duke Chronic, I fully agree. It was really weird to see a HendrickCars.com scheme on a RCR 33. Cindric is Justin Haley Fan 100's pick. Wow, Justin Haley Fan 100 betraying Justin Haley with Austin Cindric. So that's 13, I think. Once again, counting is not my strong suit. Math is not my strong suit. 13. We're up to 13 drivers here. I wish I could put like a little check next to Cindric and Dillon and Greg, like everyone who gets picked. It would make this a lot easier. Elliott's been picked, Kyle Busch. We've almost hit every single digit. We've hit Cindric, we've hit Dillon, we've hit Gregson, we've hit Keselowski. Greg 1010 is going with Haley. Okay, so now we can cross Haley off the list. Elliott, Kyle Busch, they've all been crossed off. Someone picked Todd. Someone picked Zane Smith. Someone picked Reddick. Remember who the most recent winner is, by the way. Michael McDowell was picked. BJ McLeod, SVG were picked, and Hocevar. I think we're at about 15. We're at about 15. Ty Dillon is Todd 1010's pick. So once again, adding to the list, we're expanding. 13 cars to finish the race. That is bold, Denver. William Byron is David's pick. We got our first normal pick, I guess. Well, I guess Tyler Reddick would have been that. So we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. We've had 17. Cole Custer, 18 from Big W. Big W's picking Cole Custer. A roof wicker. Duke Chronic. Remember they had that wicker bill or whatever on the old generation of car, and then they got rid of it when everyone started flipping. All right, 3 minutes. I'll make my pick, guys. We're almost to half the field in terms of picks. I want to see. I want to see every single car get picked. We've only had a couple favorites. We only had Elliott and Byron get picked in terms of the favorites. So we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then we got a big gap here. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Eric Jones is Big Bang 100's pick. So that's 19. That's a new one. 19. So we're officially halfway through the field. No, we're not. Dang it. I thought there were 38 this week. There's 39. All right, so we got 19. We're one away from 20 different picks. Spoiler alert, I know who I'm picking because I've had this in my mind a while. The name has already been said, so I cannot be the 20th, unfortunately, because I'm picking someone that was already picked. Stenhouse is sorry, that name is so funny. Joke's on you, LOL. Picked Stenhouse. Jamie's a Logano fan, but is picking Kyle Busch. All right, so now we're officially at halfway with Stenhouse being picked by Joke's on you, LOL. It's just such a funny name. 2 more minutes, and then I'll make my pick, and then we'll wrap this thing up. RCR and KFB have a shot, says Duke Chronic. That doesn't sound like a definitive pick there, Duke Chronic. Priest is Daniel Milton 100's pick. All right. So that's 21. Well, that's the thing, Denver. With this car, everyone's saving fuel, and then by the time everyone's going full force, you're 2x2, and you can't really pick cars off and make moves. So it's all about track position and strategy. But if it's during the fuel saving, yeah, you can make some moves. All right, we got like 1 more minute. Let's see. Anyone else? Suarez is Suarez fans pick. That's 22, maybe? Suarez, SVG, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Ross Chastain's Mr. Cat 1000. That's 23. Stenhouse is Denver's. We got a Stenhouse already, but hey, he's the most recent pick. But all right, I'm going to make my pick now. So we got 23 cars picked. As I said, someone already said my pick. I've had this in my head. I had this guy making the playoffs in the preseason. He's a really good super speedway racer. He's led a ton of laps, but just hasn't quite got it done yet. I think they show up with some speed this weekend after disappointing first couple super speedways by their standards this year. And I think Todd Gilliland gets his first career win, gets into the playoffs. And yeah, I think Todd gets it done. There's a reason I had him in the playoffs preseason. I thought it's because he was going to get a super speedway done. But unfortunately, no. He's not done that yet, so I think it's Talladega. Todd Gilliland goes to victory lane. Hamlin tonight, picking Denny Hamlin, adding our list. That is 24 now. But yeah, that's all I got for tonight. Fantasy, if you want to join the fantasy league, I'll put that link up real quick. If you want to join the fantasy league, here we go. Fantasy league. All right, how do I share it now? Oh, dang it. I don't know how to highlight to save my life, apparently. If you want to join the fantasy league, here we go. Bam. You can join it. It's for fun. It's exciting. My team will suck, as always. My roster will be like Cody Ware, Riley Herbst, Stenhouse. Who else will I put in here? I don't know. I really don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead. I don't really think much when it comes to the super speedways. But then again, according to the standings, I don't think much ever when it comes to my fantasy team. But thank you to everyone for being here. Thank you all for making your Monday picks. Yeah, it went a little bit off the rails, but that's expected at Talladega. That's completely fine. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Any news that comes out, I'll let you know. But Talladega this upcoming week should be a